Before we can start creating sales documents in the system, we first need to set up customers. So let's have a look at the customer card. So we will create a customer card for each customer that we want to set up in the system. And also here you will see that the customer card has a number of ribbon tabs like Home, Actions, Navigate and Report, and that we have a number of fast tabs like General, Address and Contacts, we have Invoicing, there is Payments and Shipping. Let's look at an example in the system. So let's go to Customers, and I will use customer 10,000 as an example. And here you can see now the customer card with the different tabs we just saw on the overview slide, but let's focus on the fast tabs. So first of all, we have the general fast tab, which of course will include all the general information of a customer, like the customer number, the customer name, and so on. So remember in one of the previous modules, we can assign fields as additional or standard or promoted. And in this case, also the additional fields are shown, which means that the fields that we don't use that much are also shown in this display. And by clicking on Show Less, you will now see only the standard fields. You see, so in this way, I can switch from one to the other view. So what else can we assign on the general fast tab? So if I go here to show everything, you have the intercompany partner code. So we can set up intercompany management in NEV. And if this customer would be an intercompany customer, we can assign the intercompany partner code. You can, very important, see the balance and the balance due. And there's the credit limit. So if you want to use the customer in combination with the credit limit, I can just enter the amount. And the system will use this to perform a credit limit check when selling to the customer. And because the amount is now displayed in red, it means that the customer already exceeded its credit limit. Then there are different ways to block customers. For example, only blocking for shipment, for invoice, or for everything. And of course, we can assign salespersons and responsibility centers to customers. Then with service management, you can assign a service zone codes. And with the document sending profile, we can specify how customers would like to receive their documents, such as, for example, sales invoices, for example, by mail, electronically, in PDF, and so on. Here we can see a number of calculated fields, such as the total sales, the total cost, and so on, and the resulting profit percentage. And then a customer can also have a language code. So again, a lot of fields, but by clicking Show Less, you can only see the most frequently used fields. Then customers, of course, also have addresses. So here we can enter address and contacts, together with phone number, email, homepage, so all the communication information that we need. And by scrolling down, I can now expand the invoicing fast tab. And there you can, of course, see the invoicing information for the customer. So if the customer has a VAT registration number, we can enter it here. And there's also a specific check that you can have the system perform. So here you can see that it is not verified. There's the copy sell to address to quote. So in this case, if you enter a quote for the customer, do you want to use the company address or the person address? And then we have posting groups. So the posting groups that the system will use to assign the GL account when posting to the customer. Like, for example, the customer posting group is linked, let me show you, to the receivables account, as you can see here. So when posting to this customer, by using the customer posting group, the system will automatically post to the receivables account 2,310. We can also set up specific prices and discounts for the customer based on groups to which they belong, as you can see here. And on the Payments fast tab, we can enter payment information such as the payment terms code and the reminder terms code. And then finally, if I go to shipping, you can see shipping information such as the location to which I have linked the customer. Should the customer get combined shipments, which means can they get an invoice of multiple shipments at the same time? And do we allow reservations for the customer? Then there's a shipping advice, and at the right side, the shipping method resulting in a specific shipping time. So as I said, a lot of information on the customer card, but in all these separate courses like Finance Essentials, like for example trade, all these fields, these functions are explained more in detail. But this should give you a general idea of the important information that we should include for customers in the system. Now I guess after taking the previous lesson that you're now ready to create yourself a new customer, and that's something that you can do by following the practice of this lesson.